Yes, Robin, well, this meeting really has at its heart has an aim to raise trillions of dollars to combat poverty around the world. And the business leaders that are here might not like some of what they hear, at least. We've seen protests in Seville on the street calling for debt cancellation, calling for climate action, for fair taxation. We've also seen calls from some world leaders on the private sector to step up and invest more in countries that desperately need it at the moment, for polluters to pay more too. So the truth at the moment is that these SDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals, are really in danger. We heard an address from the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. He said today that as many or only a third of them are on track to be completed by 2030. And we're talking about basic programs to provide water, food, health and education to all people. And of course, this is happening in the context of global aid cuts by the biggest economy on the planet, by the United States. Right now, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill is going through Congress in the US, and that, if you look at the details there, for example, next year, 2026, there would be $30 billion cut from the global aid budget. We could see as much as 85% of the foreign affairs budget cut. That would lower US spending to levels not seen for 8 decades. So all of that happening around this meeting in Seville. There are some 70 global leaders here, people like France's Emmanuel Macron, William Ruto from Kenya, the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen is here. She's already said that global development funding is clearly insufficient. We have had some good news, however. Spain has promised $175 million US, around that much to the global fund that tackles malaria, things like tuberculosis, AIDS, for example. But, you know, the truth is that 2 in 5 families in this world currently live in countries that have to spend more on servicing debt than they can on health and education. Guterres, you know, he said this year is all about trying to restore confidence. But the elephant in the room here is that the elephant isn't in the room. The United States are not here. They did not send a delegation. As you mentioned, the UN is trying to engage with them. But where these trillions of dollars for global development funding are going to come from still isn't all that clear, Robin.